Hey friend, Michelle Dennis Evans here. Welcome to Created to Write, where we turn blank pages into finished work. You'll be encouraged, inspired, and learn practical strategies to move forward with your writing, whether you're just starting out or ready to level up your craft. And if you're looking for ways to support your creative work with an additional income stream, I'd love to chat with you. Please reach out on social, Michelle Dennis Evans on most places. Now for today's episode. Hello and welcome to Created to Create. And today I have the gorgeous, the beautiful, the one and only Jenny Glazebrook with me. Hey Jenny, how you going?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good to hear, good to hear. Let me tell you about Jenny. She lives in a small country town called Gundagai in Australia. And her and her husband Rob have 4 children and many pets and some rescue animals. She writes incredible inspirational Christian fiction, including a young adult series, new adult series, and women's fiction and devotional works. And tell me more about those books that you've written.
Well, the young adult ones, they're based in Australia, the Aussie Sky series, and therefore, well, I use, there's a story about horses, and my target audience is kind of teenage girls who love horses and a bit of adventure, but also have a deep faith element. The next series, the Bateman series, I actually wrote that first book when I was still in high school, and it took years to get that going. And it's about a family on a farm in rural Australia, and it goes through a couple of generations of their story. It's new adult. And then I've been part of a multi-author series, Trinity Lakes, which is actually a fictional US town. I've got 3 stories in that and some collaborative devotional works as well.
You are a prolific writer. You have so much work out there. It's awesome.
I guess because it's what I love. So instead of what
Yeah.
I write.
You love writing. Yeah. What first sparked your love of storytelling and writing?
I remember sitting on my grandmother's knee as a child and her reading stories, and just she had a beautiful voice. And so she would read stories to us. And then once I got to school, I was just fascinated by words and how they told a story. And I was a bit of a shy child because I was born with a cleft lip and palate, so I looked quite different, and I had medical conditions and felt different, and life was hard. I had a lot of anxiety. So writing was an escape. And whenever we got to, they used to call it process writing or creative writing in school, I would just love to sit there and I would escape. I'd be out there, I would be a character running outside with the horses in the breeze and the sunshine, free. And I think that kind of escape was something I loved. But it was when I was 13 that God reached in and showed me he made me the way I am for a reason, that he could use me this way, and he loved me. And from there, it was like the words just bubbled up. And so rather than an escape, it became an expression of what God does in our lives and the joy he brings. I just couldn't help sharing stories and pictures of what God does in our lives.
Beautiful, beautiful. Have you ever walked through a season of doubt?
Yes.
So what kept you going?
Every time I write a new book. It's not doubt that I love this and I'm enjoying it. It's the doubt about, is this something I should share with the world? Am I brave enough to share this with the world? Who do I think I am? Is God going to use it this time? Or are these just my own words? And what about the critics? And is it good enough? And what if I get cancelled? That's the big one. All these thoughts that swirl through my mind. But then I find, turn back to God and realize, this is for him and he'll use it if he wants to. And if it touches one person's life, that's enough. And the whole cancelled thing, I actually shared with someone recently, like one of my books, I was worried, should I change it a little bit because of a very sensitive topic in there that when I wrote it wasn't that sensitive, but it is now. Should I take it out? Because I don't want to get cancelled. And this person said, if you take that out, you've already cancelled yourself. And that was like, oh, okay. We need to be real and authentic. And if it doesn't sell heaps, or if we get a bad review, if it's touched one person, that's enough.
Makes it all worthwhile, hey, for the one.
Yep.
So tell me, how do you balance all this writing in with you've got a large family, work, you're a chaplain, everything that you do.
I don't. I don't balance it. That's the wrong word. Um, yeah, I don't actually work as a chaplain now. That's more volunteer. um, as I can, and as you like, a chaplain sort of becomes who you are, I think. So it's who you meet down the street or whatever. Yeah, we have a lot of medical appointments, specialist appointments, and I have a neuromuscular condition, and some days I can't function at all. So if I have a space of time, I grab it. It's like waiting for a holiday. Like if you get that opportunity, you're going to grab it. so the opportunity is there, I'll take it and do as much as I can within that time. And because it's relaxing, it's something that every spare moment, that's what I'll do.
Yeah, yeah, and I honor you because I do know a little bit about the challenges that both you and your children and your husband have all faced. You've had a load of health challenges come your way, far more than the average family, and you just continue to strive to walk forward and hold your head up with faith. And I honor you for the way that you continue, and you still put out books that are just beautiful books. Yeah, well done.
Oh, thanks, Michelle.
So tell me about the interaction of your faith and storytelling and characters.
All of my characters, they go through tough stuff, and it's all for a purpose and all for redemption in the end. And it's what God has done with my life and with many other people's lives around me. And so every book I write has that, because I feel as though, we all have a choice with our lives. We can write the story ourselves of our own lives, or we can let God, who's the master storyteller and the author of life, guide us and lead us and tell it his way. And I guess that's what I'm doing with my stories. And sometimes I'll have a character in my story who goes off their own way, and I just have to kind of follow them and try to pull them back into line. But I love that God doesn't actually do that with us. Like he gives us that free choice, but it just shows me, everything my characters are going through in this story. I know the big picture. And so in a way, I guess we're writing in the image of God and how he works the story of our lives if we let him.
Beautiful. Has a reader ever told you how God spoke to them through your words, through the books that you write?
Yeah. And I think that's what, apart from, you just can't help writing because God gives it to you, I think that's what keeps me going. Is, especially teenagers, I'll get emails just, they've been going through a hard spot, and a story or a character has changed their lives. And we've even got some teenagers who have little clubs around my books, around the characters.
Oh, that's fun.
A Claire club or a Aussie Sky club. And, I think that's great. But I think the thing that most impacted me was I was only up to my fourth book, and I got a call from a school librarian in Canberra, and there was a girl who was really struggling with depression and the way her life was going. And the librarian suggested, she loved to read. The librarian suggested she read the first 3 of my Aussie Sky series. They impacted her so much that everyone around her could tell. And I got invited to that school to speak and to meet her. And I'll never forget that. To actually see the face of the person that God had asked me to write this book for. Yeah, it may have been more people than that, but because usually we won't know till we get to heaven, like who it's impacted. But it was like God saying, I'm just going to give you a taste and show you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's
her and I gave her probably the next book in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So encouraging just to keep you going forward in those times of doubt when you hear that one person that it changed their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's why we write, just so that one person. That's awesome. Now, before we go, there are a lot of people out there wanting to write a book, people who are scared to put their work out there for public eye. What words of wisdom or encouragement do you have for the wannabe writer or the new writers or the old and dusty writers who aren't sure if they want to keep going?
I would say that, yes, there are going to be people who trample on your heart. Like, that is how this world is. Like, you see it, Facebook, everywhere, people who don't understand that you are pouring your lifeblood into this and they're not treasuring it. But there are those who will be impacted by what you write for eternity. And are you going to let those who are going to trample on it stop you from having an impact for eternity with using the gift of creativity that God's given you, because he did create us to create? And you might think, oh, it's just a mess and it's too hard, but life is messy. And all my books start off messy. It's that bringing them into order and like God has done. And you might not see the big picture to start with. When at the cross, you think, oh, that's the complete defeat of Jesus. But he had this much more beautiful picture in mind. So, yes, it will hurt, but do it. Do it for the sake of others. Yeah, you don't know who you're going to touch with your words and who will connect with you. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing I've really learned too is, we're scared, like, oh, not yet, not yet. And I know an amazing author whose manuscript I've read 10 years ago, and it's still not out there because they're striving for perfection. But I just, the way it impacted me, I'd love it to be out there in the world. And don't do that. Like, don't wait for perfection. Excellence is good. So you get your help, you get your editors, work. It's teamwork, writing. And another thing I've learned is, I don't know where this quote came from. I thought it was Annie Hamilton, but she said she didn't think it was. That you hold the heart of your story tight in your hands, but let the words slip through your fingers. So in other words, never forget the heart of your story, but allow an editor or an expert to refine the words to express that heart better. So, yeah, just do it. Just have that courage. And
that's a great. That's really good advice, because I know going through an editor in the beginning or getting a critique partner or any feedback, it can be quite hard to hear because the words that you've written are so personal. And to remember that it's the heart of the story you want to get across, not the exact words. And some of them might sing off the page to you. And sometimes the editors aren't always right. Most of the time, they will help you get your work to a much better readable state and to be able to get out in front of people. Yeah, so good. Love that.
And if you find the right editor or proofreader too, you just, when you read their words, you go, oh, of course. and I was like that with you. Like, when you did the proofreading for my Bateman family novels, like as I'd read through them, I was excited to get them because you were the right one. You got the heart of the story and knew how to change it and go, yes, this will improve it. Whereas if you get an editor, which I've had very few of these, but sometimes you will get an editor who doesn't get the heart of your story. And that's when, okay, this is not the fit.
That's right. And there are plenty of editors available for us to find the right one. It might just take shopping around for a moment. Awesome. Thank you for joining me today, Jenny. Thank you for sharing your inspiration. I'm going to put Jenny's links below, and please like and subscribe. Go follow Jenny. Go buy her books because they are brilliant. And yes, I have proofread them, some of them. Thoroughly enjoyed reading them. They're great books. Your kids, your family will love reading them too. So until next time, we will say farewell for now. Thanks for hanging around till the end. Please remember to leave a review if you've enjoyed this podcast and share it with a friend. You never know who is wanting to get those words out of their head and into a book.